Depends on what your definition of an animal is. Hello, my name is Animal.
You mean like 9 Inch Nails? I want to feel like an animal?
No, I mean sort of like, growing a little bit too much hair. Like a little bit more than like, even like a joke perspective sort of thing. Like
like the tuft of hair on Will Power's chest in Ace Attorney.
Oh yes, Will Powers.
And the other guy's name is Jack Hammer. Tell me he's not a gay porn star.
I mean,
his name is Jack Hammer.
Sometimes, there's an in, there's an in. Like maybe he actually enjoyed that more. Right. He really seemed to kind of hate the kids shows that he was recording with William Powers.
Well, hey, if he hadn't accidentally murdered somebody.
Well, honestly, I'm still kind of convinced that she made him do it. We really didn't,
No, I don't think she made him do anything. It was an accident. Like, they were doing a fight scene. Obviously, the fucking scenic department didn't realize, we shouldn't make the garden fence posts like sharp metal. And they pushed each other, and one of them went right on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, though, like, the lady that we were talking about, like, is this a mysterious figure that apparently
has ties to the mafia?
Yeah, like, is involved with the mafia to the point that she had hitmen that almost took us out. Like, that was, like, we almost got killed by the mafia when we were trying to figure out why an actor died.
I think for her it's more of a business thing. She's a business bitch, you can tell. But, like, the fact that she's willing to play so fair with us the whole time, other than the one time she tries to get us with the mafia, but, then we get...
Well, I mean, that's just because we were...
for once.
We were snooping, and, she wasn't under oath. Like, that was her jurisdiction. And in her jurisdiction, apparently, guns are the answer for her, I guess. For the eye patch guy, especially. I think the eye patch guy was the one that was, like... Looked like he had a thing on him under his coat.
Keep that motherfucking thing on him.
Which also sucks because, like, I'm pretty sure he was the bald one too, which, like, I think goes to, like, continues this, like, awful trend of, like, villainizing, like, the bald look, because I feel like that's always what happens.
In Persona 5, the bald guy's the guy that sexually assaults that woman, so...
Actually, Lucas, he just did that. He's just past that now. He's coming up on the stuff that's in Royale now. I'm really, really excited, but now I can't leave my room when he's playing it.
Yeah. Well, enough about the weeb shit.
So anyway, we are once again, for the 9th time in a row, this is a very special episode. Today, visiting, we have a special guest from...
Hello.
Here?
From here. Let's just say I'm from here, originally West by God, and I'm not talking about Virginia. Everybody just calls me Flex, or you can call me Flex Van Halen. That's what I go by on stage. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes. Yeah, I was really, really pumped to get you on the show because, once again, like, a unique perspective. Like, you've actually been, like, your band's been performing, like, a decent amount recently, haven't they?
Yes, we have.
I don't think we actually have, like, had a musician on yet.
We have not.
Yeah, so, like, what have you guys been, how have you guys been, like, doing those gigs? I assume you've been performing at, like, are they, like, outdoor venues mostly? Like, how do they usually handle that sort of stuff?
So basically right now, it's going to be funny when I look back at this conversation. Hopefully, crossing fingers, it's going to be different soon. But right now, all the venues are doing outdoor things. So we've been playing mainly outside of this area, but close to the area. So the last place we played was Eureka Springs, and it was really interesting. So that town's about 2,500 people, which is crazy to me because it's such a tourist town. And
it's so cute.
Right?
Like, yeah. And all the different little places to stay are adorable.
Yes. So what we've been doing is we've been playing these outdoor venues. So, for example, we played at the Wanderoo Lodge and Gravel Bar, and over there the rules basically are, if it's outdoors, you're able to have more people as long as they social distance. Mm-hmm. They can wear their masks. But it's funny because in the group that I'm in, I do the singing and guitar playing, so it's kind of like 2 in 1. But yeah. I think it's funny because at some of the venues that were coming up, they're requiring my bandmates to wear masks, but I can't wear a mask. But the rule is they're supposed to be at least 12 feet away from the singer. So I was cool with doing the whole Scorpion Sub-Zero mask thing going on. Okay, I was kind of planning on doing it, but then they're like, no, we really want them to see your face and stuff. So we go with it. And although there are a lot of regulations, it's encouraging, and I know some of you out there will disagree with this, Everyone, there's people that are very strong for the whole, hey, stay, close everything down again. But I think as entertainers that we all are in this room, I think it's important to give some people some form of hope to get away from. Mental health is a big thing right now. And one thing that I strive to do kind of personally for myself is to give people an outlet, if they're willing to take that risk, of course, safely, to come out, have a good time. And on top of that, anytime you go indoor to these, for example, when we play outside, when you go inside, mandatory mask on, order your beverage. And then when you go outside, do as you wish, but
practice proper hygiene,
Yeah.
I think as long as you just are safe about it, there's no reason I think the reason most people want things to close again is just because there's so many people that don't want to follow the rules.
I feel like what the problem is a lot of the time is just people not being like as aware of their surroundings and the people that are around them. I feel like it's not that much more effort to just be more conscious of like the visual, just like the area around you, just more, I don't know. I feel like there have been too many people that have been like just pushing, like grocery shopping is so fucking dangerous around here. I swear, people just do not, they will just shove right past you if you're in the way. It's spooky. Yeah, and I feel like we are sort of in a unique position being in Arkansas, especially in like a more like sprawling area of Arkansas, because like we have a lot of open space and outdoor area that like it's easy to fill up more without there's
not
more
everybody next to each other.
Yeah, and it's also like open air, so there's not a lot of like stuff or anything like that. And I feel like getting outside is something that people have needed as well too. Which also, like, I feel like so many people have picked up hiking and like other stuff like that recently. I guess it's just a good thing that there are so many trails and other things like that to like go out to. There's a bit more foot traffic than I'd say is like super comfortable from what I've seen, but like it could be a lot worse. I don't know, like I've never felt actually like I've had an encounter with somebody like out in nature recently that has like felt like breaking quarantine. I don't know. Usually people are pretty respectful. Getting outside I feel has really been good, especially like now that it is warm and the sun is out. Like for people that have like too much time on their hands, it's really, I don't know, like it feels like you're doing something for yourself to be able to like go and do that. And now that we are in a time where like there is that extra time and space, like in the position that we're in to do that, like you can, and you can more easily justify it. I don't know. At the same time, like it's a very, like we are also living in a very dangerous place when it comes to cases, so we do have to be careful about that too. But I don't know, we'll see. I guess I don't want to like date this too hard, but like I guess we'll have to see how things go when school opens back up, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think currently our university is trying to do a lot of stuff online because working at the radio station, we were talking about that just because there won't be as many students who have to come back to be on campus. Of course, I think I will end up having a class that I need to be in person for because I'm taking a dance class and I'm also working some costume shop hours. So, like, those are things that you kind of have to do in person. The dance class, though, she is planning to do a lot of it online because I guess the professor has an at-risk child. So I'm like, I mean, good for her for wanting to go online and just not even bother with it. But it'll be interesting because I think that the area will stay pretty... It's been pretty nice when, everybody goes away for the summer.
Yeah, it feels
But it'll be interesting because I don't think as many people will come back.
Yeah, I find that interesting. Also, not to date it too much, but it was really reinforcing to see yesterday that the cases, as far as July goes, have gone down 50% as far as hospitalizations go. And I think a lot of that has to do with the mask mandate that has been around here. And, of course, people social distancing. So not going out when it's unnecessary and, taking appropriate risks and just kind of being around your people.
For sure. Anyways, what are we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. Did you have anything planned for this time?
I have something that I thought about earlier that I'm really excited to talk about today.
Yeah? Are you excited? What are you excited?
I'm here today to talk about Simlish. the fictional language of EA's super popular game series, The Sims.
Oh boy!
Earlier, I told Mason the hint was sul, which that's hello in Simlish. Growing up, that was like the first video game I really played and was really into, just because it was so cool. You could have your little person. You play God basically. It's awesome.
Yeah. Could you please say a little bit
Is there
closer
a name
to the
for
mic?
that genre?
It's
For playing
simulation.
God.
That's why they're called The Sims, because it's a simulation of real life, and you are controlling that simulation.
I didn't know it was like called like God or something.
There's
called God.
There's kind of like a city builder is sort of like a genre that's more in that direction.
Tycoon.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I would say overall, though, those all fit into simulation games.
Oh, for sure. It's just like a subsection of it.
Because I'm really into simulation games as a person.
Same.
But something that made me think about Simlish today was I remembered for every iteration of The Sims, there's 4 with many expansions and stuff packs, and you can blow so much money on that. Every game had real songs sung and recorded by the real artists in Simlish, because they wanted it to have a more realistic feel. So it's like, you never really truly know what the Sims are saying, but over time you do, based on their actions and their expressions, you always know what they mean. And, the most popular artist that did it was Katy Perry for the Sims 3 Showtime stuff. She sang...
Wait, Katy Perry did shit for the Sims? What? When?
Yes.
2000?
Yeah,
when?
That was, it was for The Sims 3. Let me bring it up here.
The fuck?
That was like a million years ago.
Is that what Katy Perry's been up to recently?
I guess so.
Well,
I feel like I've heard from her
that
since
explains a lot.
Before Katy Perry, though, in The Sims 2, there was Bare Naked Ladies, had their songs Easy, Wind It Up, and What a Letdown.
Why didn't I know this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why didn't
Ali and
we?
AJ put Chemicals React on there. The Flaming Lips had a song in there.
Oh my
Wow.
fucking
How far
The
what?
does
Pussycat
Sims
Dolls
goes?
Don't was translated
Oh,
into
please.
Simlish.
We gotta listen to that.
We gotta listen. We gotta listen to at least one of these. Oh my god. Probably off mic, but...
Oh, they are really, they slap, I will say. And then getting to The Sims 3, Katy Perry, Her Hot and Cold.
Okay, sure.
Oh, man.
As well as, there's tons and tons of songs, but I'm just trying to list off, like, some super popular ones that everyone would probably
I
know.
just love that the Bare Naked Ladies kicked it off.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know if Nickelback's in there.
Oh no.
It doesn't appear they are, but if you would like, they do have some Simlish lyrics here. There's Paramore's Pressure, Katy Perry's Hot and Cold, Lily Allen's Smile, My Chemical Romance, Na Na Na.
Okay, sure.
Luke Bryan's Country Girl, Shake It For Me.
No.
Shake it for me,
Oh,
girl. Social
Stop.
distance me from that song.
Yeah, I feel
It's so interesting they got people to record these and they translated it. It's basically its own whole language, I guess you could say.
It
Imagine
seems
getting
like
sides
it
for that.
at this point. Yeah, can you pull one of these up?
Yeah.
I really feel like I need to hear
I'm
one
gonna
of these
laugh
now.
if they're on Spotify.
This is a article from pedestrian.tv called Ranking All the Sims Versions of Popular Songs by How Insane They Are. So this is We Are Young by Fun.
Oh no. Hear it.
I'm viewing the lyrics with the guys right now.
What? This is cursed. This is kind of cursed.
Yeah, I mean, they sound just like the real song, but it's insane. I mean... Oh yeah, Getting Hot in Here is also in
Goodness
Simlish.
gracious. That song's like older than Methuselah.
Oh.
What are you waiting?
No, that's not the lyrics, you dumbass. Didn't you hear it? It was One Mama Maybe Bo, okay? Fuck you.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
That's enough of that.
So
We're probably gonna have to cut all of that out.
Anyways, yeah, also, like, The Sims, they've recently been doing this Sims, like, creator competition
Yes,
online.
I wanted to bring that up, but you do it.
So, well, I haven't had a chance to watch any of it, but that reminded me, like, as a teenager, since, and like a youth, when I used to play this game,
As a youth.
I would go onto YouTube.
Excuse me, as a youth, I would like to give my opinion.
As a youth, I would go on the YouTubes, and I would, like, look up fan-created sim videos, and it'd be like, they'd be like sad music videos where someone's baby would get stolen or something really dramatic, you know?
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
look back on it and you're like, the plot of this is really fucked up. But then you're like, oh my God. But I was like in awe of like all the stuff they could do recording in The Sims, like getting them to act stuff out. It was honestly very entertaining. I think my favorite would be Avril Lavigne's When You're Gone.
Oh, no.
Which I'm going to make you watch it later with me because it's the weirdest fan-made sim music video and it's so depressing and you're like, why did children find this entertaining?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a different time, and we thought different things were cool. Okay, it changed. Stuff like that changes. I mean, look back on what about
Tamagotchis.
Hey,
No,
I love
those are still
Tamagotchis,
cool.
and
Fuck
those are
you.
still cool.
Hey, I'm just trying to contribute here.
I did buy one of the most current versions of Tamagotchi like
I
a
didn't know they
couple
still
months
made 'em.
ago.
Everything
Yeah.
that Guy Fieri is about.
Yes,
Oh,
those fucking flame shirts.
Lord,
I
yeah.
mean, don't
I
get me
had
wrong.
one.
Love
I want
that
one
man.
again.
That man, he just, he's just doing his thing, living his life. But I
He
gotta
could take
say,
me to Flavor Town any day.
he really is just like a relic. He is a time capsule. That man is. And you know what? I'm glad that he's just still doing his thing. Actually, is he able to do? Never mind. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Things that were cool back then and aren't now.
But what are you talking about though, Flex?
I don't know. I always liked the Jonas Brothers show on Disney. I'm just gonna kind of throw that out there.
Jonas Brothers was the only boy band I was really into. And I was into the diabetic one, Nick.
Shit, yeah.
And yeah,
Those
that
killer
for some
chops.
reason was a big point. Like, I don't know why. I guess they just wanted to spread awareness, but yeah, anyways. Remember their promise rings, dude?
Okay, I remember a
Oh, I
South Park
forgot about
episode
that.
with the Jonas Brothers. That's how I found out about that. Do you remember? Did anyone watch that here?
I don't know if I did, but I also watched a lot of Jonas Brothers related content because Disney Channel was for some reason just the channel I would throw on in the background of me doing other stuff or like when I'm trying to sleep because like I don't fucking care what was going on the screen, so like it was great background noise. It wasn't distracting. It was just generic. But I kind of liked Camp Rock when I watched it.
You ever feel
So-
like Kevin Jonas got the raw end of the stick?
Oh, hell yeah.
He's the oldest one. I love you, Kevin. No harm is meant by this following statement. He's not the most attractive one. He's definitely the least attractive one.
But, I mean, that's subjective from person to person.
Well, but like also they've gotten, Joe
Well,
and
like-
Nick have had more personal solo music career success.
Maybe in like an American style beauty in that sort of like mindset, like I get you. But it's from person to person, I say.
That's fair, but I mean also speaking of Kevin Jonas, did you
Jonas?
ever see Kevin
No,
Jonas?
I can't.
Did you ever see the reality show him and his wife did?
No, this was a thing.
What?
Yes, it's called Married to Jonas.
What?
And it was only on air for one season on E because obviously it's about Kevin Jonas and his marriage to Danny. And they take like a vacation in the Bahamas and it follows them for like 2 years in just their happy, normal suburban life. But that's kind of why it didn't work because they literally, the stuff that was supposed to be dramatic wasn't even dramatic. It was just like normal day-to-day shit. Like I've seen clips from it and it's just hilarious.
Next time on Married to Jonas.
Hey, have you seen The Keys? Dun dun dun.
Did you really try to buy a horse again?
I think we should renew our vows, Kevin.
Jonas?
Have you ever thought, wow, I wish there was a place I could advertise something or someone or a message maybe? Well, do I have the opportunity for you?
Has this ever happened to you?
Aw, man, we ain't getting no customers at our business.
Well, guess what? What your problem is no one knows who you are. 'Cause guess what? No one knows who anybody is. That's why you gotta talk to us. You see, what we do, we take a recording of you talking about yourself, kind of like we do of ourselves. It's the only thing we know how to do. And we take that and we put it, see, like right here where we'd be talking right now, and we would place it here, and it would play in between right here in the episode, and it would make people aware, because people will hear it, about 10 probably, people will hear it, and then they'll go, oh, hey, that's a thing I didn't know about, and then they'll look it up because they have nothing better to do. And that's how ads work. That's how ads work.
We also put them on the big floaty balloon men for an extra $20.
Yeah, actually, I believe people do that around here. I don't see it much anymore, but like that's I feel like I saw that a lot when school is still in session. Like, cause there's a private airport like right off of MLK. I went there by accident once.
Accident?
Once? Who are you?
I'm really good at losing things, but especially my vape and my phone. I have like this just great quality of losing everything all the time. In 5th grade, my teacher told me my backpack must have a black hole in it because I lose everything.
Maybe it's once that dopamine rush that you get from the thing you're holding is over, you just drop it somewhere, kind of like Andy dropping his toys whenever he doesn't want to play with them anymore.
I don't want to vape on you anymore. Ugh.
Yeah, I think I've seen you do that.
Yeah, but it's usually when they're done, so they threw it in the trash.
I think Cole said that you do that in your sleep sometimes, too.
Throw things?
No, like vape and then toss it.
No, I don't vape in my sleep. I do talk in my sleep, though.
Really?
Yes, I have spoke Simlish and German in my sleep, confirmed.
So now that you've brought up that segment beforehand, I'm a little bit worried. I think you've played too much of that game, Aubrey.
Nipsey, Bonica too.
What are they talking about? I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, well, what did you bring in? Better be something. Because it sounded like I was more prepared.
You know what? For once, Aubrey, I'll let you have it. You did. You did have something, and I did not. But you know what? I do have now something. And you know what that something is? It's Year One. A movie starring Jack Black and Michael Cera.
But I am always here for a discussion on Michael Cera.
Which is why we're not going to talk about him at all.
What?
So this movie, it's really bad. I enjoyed it when I watched it. Just awful. But I don't know. I had a good time. It's
got that awful vibe, like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Haven't seen
any of the scary movies.
I've seen all of those.
Vampires suck. It's one of those movies that's bad, but it's funny and entertaining, so it was worth it.
Yeah, which is funny because I feel like this is the first thing that I'd seen Michael Cera in for the first time in forever. When it came out.
What? Yeah, he does do a lot of more indie stuff, I guess. But I've been following him for a long time, ever since I saw Juno and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Superbad. Yeah. After I saw that stuff at a younger age, I was like, oh my god, this adorable... Like, Michael Cera is exactly how I would describe my type in men. It's just, like, lanky and uncomfortably awkward, and like, wow, ooh, that does it for me. Does it for me, folks.
It's weird. But like I said, we weren't talking about Michael Cera.
We are, and we always will be.
That's why I'm trying to steer the conversation away for once. So.
Okay, well, moving on to Jack Black. I think I have a kind of controversial opinion on Jack Black. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Jack Black as a person. Like, I really do. But when it comes to his roles in movies, some of them are questionable.
I mean, roles...
I enjoyed him in the new Jumanji because it's a teenage girl in his body, so that's really entertaining, and that's a character study in itself. But, should I even mention the disaster that was Nacho Libre?
Okay, you're gonna get a lot of hate for saying that. A lot of people really like that movie.
I know a lot of people like that movie, but Jack Black is white. Nacho Libre... not a white movie concept.
We should take a moment to look that up just to triple check.
Let me triple check. You look up Jack Black and I'm gonna look up Nacho Libre.
I still kind of felt like he acted like himself. Did you know he was in the Neverending Story 3?
There was a Neverending Story 3.
That's the reaction I always get because I love watching those obscure sequels to movies that people kind of forgot about. And he was in a ton of commercials, but I will say one of my favorite roles he did was in Shallow Hal. Just because it was a positive body image movie ahead of its time.
Jack Black's character is named Ignacio, or Nacho to his friends, and he works as a cook in a Mexican monastery where he grew up. So his character is supposed to be Hispanic.
Yeah, but he's British, German, and Russian Jewish.
Yeah, so he's white as hell is what I'm saying. And Again, I will preface this with saying I do like Jack Black as a person. I find him entertaining, and I think he's a good down-to-earth guy, especially with the content he's been posting recently. The celebrity escape room thing he's doing is really cool and really, really, really entertaining. But I just think that, like, so many people love Nacho Libre, and I'm like, I didn't think it was really that funny.
Yeah, it's
like it's definitely dated, but like I was just kind of like, okay, it's Jack Black being over the top Jack Black, and honestly, I think he acted better in Kung Fu Panda, and I don't even like that movie either. Another controversial opinion.
Aside from that, those movies are hidden gems. But also, like, what I think is important for like the sort of role that Jack Black plays, like, I'm not saying it's specific to like himself, but just sort of like, usually it's with comedic roles like that, like, no matter what, like, how much the movie sucks, how much the character that was written for him sucks, like, he usually, like, 80 to 90% of the time adds to the thing that he is in, rather than detract from it, I feel.
No, I mean, for sure.
He was the best part of the King Kong movie, from what I've heard people say.
Didn't he get eaten in that one?
I do want to go just a little bit further down Jack Black's movie path to bring up another movie that over time has become a little controversial.
It better not be what I think it is, or you guys will
my mom showed me this movie when I was a kid.
Here we go.
And I thought it was really funny, and it was great because it has Gwyneth Paltrow in it. This movie is called Shallow Hal.
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of Shallow Hal, Mason.
Shallow Hal wants a gal.
Yes, so Shallow Hal, it's Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow. Hal is a superficial man with a heart of gold whose fixation on physical beauty gets in the way of their inner beauty. Hal and his equally shallow friend, Mercutio, spend their nights obnoxiously hitting on beautiful, sexy women at nightclubs and usually end up getting rejected. Hal's life is steady, but he is dismayed with being passed over for a long-sought promotion. His love life is non-existent, so he tries to ask Jill, his attractive neighbor, out on a date. She's not interested. She thinks he's super shallow, so she's not attracted to him. Which is true. He is shallow. He's Shallow Hal.
Yo, yeah, okay, I've watched this movie.
I've seen it.
So, yeah. Well, he gets trapped in this elevator with his life coach.
Tony Robbins.
Yes. And while waiting for it to be fixed, Robbins sympathizes with Hal's disappointment, but tries to figure out about his ideas of women. He then hypnotizes him into only seeing someone's inner beauty. He doesn't know he's been hypnotized and later meets Rosemary, Gwyneth Paltrow, daughter of the president of the company where he is employed. Rosemary is morbidly obese, but Hal sees her as a slender and beautiful trophy wife. He is immediately smitten by her. Used to being overlooked due to her appearance, Rosemary initially interprets Hal's interest as mockery, but then thinks his feelings are sincere, because in a way they are. But, like, basically the whole point of this movie's comedy end is, like, him seeing her as super skinny, and then it shows, like, everyone else seeing this, like, over-the-top, like, Medea-sized woman, you know, bouncing this ass everywhere, getting in the way, like Aunt Fanny and robots. I know that was a lot of metaphors to other movies to make, but I think,
you know,
it's just like, I like the concept because it's teaching him not to be shallow, but then they like went this comedy route where it was like, oh man, it almost takes the message you're sending and just weakens it.
Yeah, it does. It does some weird stuff. I feel like it really does like point a nice like frame at like the Peace Corps and stuff. I feel like I learned a lot about that from like what they do and what they do like from that movie. They feel like they give that like a lot of attention that you don't usually see. Like I enjoyed that aspect to it when I watched it with my parents. God, yeah, I watched that with my parents like years ago. That was weird. Also, I'm looking in the IMDb, a related movie was called The Heartbreak Kid. I don't know if you've seen that, but I don't really care about the movie specifically. What I care more about is Ben Stiller, which was the lead of that movie. Ben Stiller, which, man, what a guy, what a dude.
I think he's underrated. And also, did you know, Ben Stiller, he's kind of straight edge. He was in a documentary they made on Netflix recently about, like, LSD and tripping and stuff. Yeah. And he was just talking about how he really stays away from that stuff. I think because he said he had one bad experience or something like that, and then, you know, and he's seen it, you know, destroy other people. But, like, I was really surprised to hear that from somebody so out there who's played, because usually people that are really out there and play really funny roles I mean, not to stereotype, but, like, they usually do some sort of substance or, you know, dabble in things like that, or a little more, you know, willing to be a daredevil and things like that. And I was just surprised to hear that he's so...
Yeah, you know...
But I didn't lose any respect for him. I was like, that's just interesting.
Hey, I mean, you know, if that's what he feels like he needs for his life, like, I really respect that. I feel like there's not a lot of people that are able to, like, resist those sorts of temptations, like, in Hollywood, especially. Like, that's, you know what, I really do respect that. Which, by the way, the reason I want to bring up Ben Stiller is because, like, we were talking about Arrested Development in the last episode, kind of.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
we're getting to the part where he shows up in that show, and
he plays gay, not gay musician Tony Wonder.
Don't you mean magician? You said musician.
Oh, magician. I thought I said magician.
I'm really ready for that, but also, you know, we're talking about Arrested Development. I might as well bring up David Cross.
David Cross. I asked Mason if we were doing a segment when we took a break, and he had this little smirk where he said no, but something told me he thought I didn't see that, and I was like, uh-oh. And I was right to say uh-oh, because David Cross!
Listen, it's not that I, like, wanted to, like, lie to you. It's just that when I previously had thought about this and brought it in, like, I never really thought of it specifically as being a segment, just sort of like I don't want to make a big deal out of it. Like, it's not.
No, I think I have something
like,
about
I didn't
David Cross I wanted to speak on.
Wait,
now
really?
That we're talking about it, because with the part we're in Arrested Development, he's currently pretending to be Mrs. Featherbottom, a Mrs. Doubtfire spoof, basically, where he is not around his family when he is being her, but, like, literally all of them know that it's him playing this stupid role, but none of them say anything about it, which is sad, but also his dedication to Mrs. Featherbottom is truly remarkable. Like,
yeah, well, it's because he really does believe that he's actually got everyone fooled, because everyone is too, like, they feel too sorry for him to want to, like, admit that he's not, like, selling it. Which, I mean, like, shows that the family actually cares, except for George, who just assumes that he's just doing it.
Who just literally sees him the first time doing it and goes, why's Tobias here? When I get uncomfortable, I sing a little tune. Hum-de-lily, hum-de-doo, hum-de-lily.
Stop, we don't want to get DMC'd.
If David Cross DMCs us for that after we just have been promoting him for free, and we love you, David Cross, so you better not.
Yeah.
We'd love to meet you, by the way, too. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Just putting that out there, just so it's been said, so you don't have to wonder if you know.
Apparently, he is an Aries, and his Chinese zodiac is dragon, and his birth element is wood. I didn't know wood was an element.
They didn't teach me that in Avatar.
Is that like Earth or?
Guess that's Earth.
He was born in Atlanta, Georgia. He liked to socialize with different people throughout his teenage life, but he also disrespected the authority and later turned out to be a strong atheist believer till today. It was tough for him to live with his Jewish family. No shit. Dang, David Cross. That makes me like him more, though. He was just that kid that was like, he went hard atheist, and he stayed hard atheist, and they all thought it was a phase. And I'm like, way to stick to it, bro.
Wow.
If you're if you're gonna believe something, might as well stick to it.
You know, I really...
Assuming it's the right thing.
Really loved him in Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I said it. We did discuss that, how he's the villain, apparently. I didn't know until he said it, and then I was like, oh, I was unaware.
Yeah, it was some weird shit. Honestly, I was thinking about bringing that in today, because, like, we didn't talk about it that much, and I wanted to try to, like, get over to our boy David Cross again for the second time.
The crossover?
Yeah, of course.
Crossover to cross.
Exactly. But, you know, I just felt like it would have been too obvious. I gotta hold on to that. I feel like Alvin's more of a stepping stone than it is a starting line, you know?
Did you feel uncomfortable as I did how sexualized they made the feminine Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Oh my god.
I mean, always.
Like, I was sitting there like... Oh yeah, I mean, furry's been a thing probably, honestly, forever. I'm sure there were...
Oh yes.
I mean, considering Christopher Columbus fucked sheep, I think furries have always been a thing.
Okay,
Yeah, do you not know that's how he brought syphilis to the New World?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to go into this right now because it is a whole fucking spiel, another video essay that I've watched at some point. But for a basis, that actually started, the furry stuff started in like the 70s. And it actually started because it was the conventions where people would get together that actually like talked on forums and got anime and stuff like from over in Japan, like brought overseas, so, like, because you used to not be able to get a hold of that stuff, but a lot of people still wanted to watch it, and that was the only way. It was like pirating and all this other shit like that. And like eventually they would like do like watch parties and go to conventions and stuff, and it twisted into a lot of different directions, which I won't go into now because like that's a whole fucking like episode's worth of shit to talk about, and I'm sure someone else could say it much more eloquently at this time. But yeah, it's a wild thing.
Yeah, the Chipettes, as they're known. Yes, I have to agree. They
Western
definitely made them sell their part of the movie, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it felt like, even as a like 12-year-old, it felt like a personal attack.
And there's 3 parts, and in fact, I read somewhere they're talking about making another one. Because Jason Lee...
Oh, God, you don't want to get, like, those Air Buddies movies. Like, I love Air Bud as much as the next
Buds.
90s baby, but, like, the Air Buddies, they need to stop. They've been to the moon. They've been to Alaska. They've been way too many damn places, and I am sick and tired of it.
I like that you listed the moon before Alaska.
Because the moon is the wildest one. Like, what the fuck? Why'd these dogs go to the goddamn moon? They went to space. They're dogs. They're always puppies.
Yeah, they're always puppies. And
Yeah.
where's Bud?
You know,
Where is Bud?
Where is Air Bud? He's probably, R.I.P. Air Bud.
Yeah, I was gonna say Aubrey. Like,
Rest and rip.
I don't want to think about it.
Large dogs only live for about 10 to 11 years. I don't... Anyway.
I know.
Not to bring things down. I never really cared much for any of the Air Bud movies. I never really watched them. I didn't really bite on that sort of stuff. But a close friend of mine, Blake, owns his own personal Air Bud named Otis. And
he looks just like Air Bud, and he's so sweet.
He is my second favorite boy. He's a good boy. He is.
Oh yes. I was just really into the Air Bud movies because growing up in a family that really liked sports, that was the only sports movie I could ever stand. And so they really liked it because original Air Bud did basketball, so they were like, basketball dog? Oh shit.
My parents kind of gave up pretty early on making me watch sports movies. I couldn't give 2 shits ever. So like they kind of missed me with that stuff. I don't know.
Oh, I've got a guest question time. I want to start this. I think we should have a time where we ask a question that we all answer, when we have a guest.
Oh, you're talking about like asking the guest a question sort of thing?
Yeah, I had a question and I realized I want the guest to answer it. So guest question time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like questions from, No, that
would be fan question time.
Yeah,
we're not there yet.
But
if you do want to ask us a question, we do have an email now.
Yes, I did finally set that up. And that email is WAWTAMail69. That's a WAWTAMAIL 69. Nice. At gmail.com.
Guest question time. All right. We're talking about childhood movies. As a child, I watched The Wizard of Oz more than any other movie I owned ever. I watched it so much, I could probably still, go word for word every bit of the movie. What was the movie you guys watched a lot as a kid?
The one you watched the most?
That's a great question. I think for me, a movie that I watched endlessly, 2 of them actually, one was Batman Forever. I don't know why. I love the idea of the superhero. Of course, who doesn't? And the other one was Jurassic Park Lost World. I think it's just because we got the box set. I just loved everything about it. I know it's nothing to brag about or take home. But for me, I think those were the ones that I would watch on repeat. Never get bored. I could watch them every day. Never get bored.
I really just watched anything that my parents bought, and my parents would buy the most random ass shit for movies, and I was now there was a lot of guesswork when we bought the things that we owned. I remember, and like I would always just go in phases. Like I would just have different times where I wanted to watch different stuff. There were movies like Over the Hedge or like Robots. You mentioned Aunt Fanny earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
Robots is just...
Yeah,
It's choice.
It is choice, I gotta say. It's awful, but it's choice. There are movies like those where I would just like, I want to watch once, at least sometime this weekend, something like that. But then there would be like times where I'd go like camping or like out somewhere, like gone for a while outside of the house for like a week. And I would just like, on some day, there would be like one day where I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie called The Pink Panther with Steve Martin, and just watch it like until it's time for dinner. I know that it's like 10 a.m. right now, but I've got nothing better to do, so I'll watch that 5 times. I think the first time I watched Speed Racer, like that live action Speed Racer they made a while back, I watched it about 7 times in a row that day for some reason. I really had nothing better to do in that time.
I mean, fair. I think in my adult life, the movie I've watched the most is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It never gets old. I will love it till the day I die, and I also watch it every year on my birthday.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does.
It's important. It's a part of my yearly tradition now, and will I stop? No, never. It's a cinematic masterpiece, so fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, I feel like that's a much better annual tradition than mine, which takes about like 50 to 60 hours to finish each year.
Oh, yeah, God. Playing Dark Souls every year, I can't even play it once.
Well, it's because you really have to like force yourself through that torture for long enough until you get comfortable, and then, it becomes rewarding afterwards. Honestly, it's just also a lot better with other
Force
people.
yourself through torture till it feels comfortable. That sounds bad.
Well, no, it teaches about overcoming strife and getting dopamine that way.
I'll overcome another kind of video game strife.
You said that you stream too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it slowed down a little bit because the band stuff started picking up, but I stream at least right now. I'm trying to do at least I do once a week. I'm trying to do an actual schedule of 2 times a week. It's really fun. I find that the games that you don't expect to be popular are going to be the ones that are popular. So like I was doing speedruns of Resident Evil 3, the remake one, and then Doom, because Doom kicks ass. But I find that when I play Jurassic World Evolution, which is like a god game, as we talked about earlier, simulation.
Yeah.
You create your own Jurassic Park, and you've got 3 motherfuckers that are trying to wreck your shit at all times if you don't do contracts with them. I won't even advertise it. I won't even put out the blast on my little page or whatever. And before I know it, I'll look, because I don't chat or put the camera up sometimes, and I've got like 15 followers in 2 minutes. And I'm all like,
Hell
really?
yeah, brother.
People are that interested in me building like what I call the Pterodome or the Thunderdome to make the Dilophosaurus or whatever you pronounce it go up against like the blue Velociraptor or whatever. But some people love that shit.
See, I feel that though. I can't stop myself from just playing the same roguelites over and over again every day. I'm kind of in a game rut right now.
So here's a question for both of you. Guest, ask the question.
Yeah, I like
Ooh,
that.
okay.
Whenever you guys, now that we're on the topic of video games and just streaming in general, whichever platform you're on, when you get tired of a game, like let's say you were excited about it, we're talking about the whole dopamine thing putting down.
From playing it too much, or just like you get tired of like partway through?
I think it's just a routine of it for me.
So kind of like Burnout then.
When do you decide, hey, you know what, maybe it's time for me to start looking for the next best thing?
I think you'd gauge it off of both how interested your audience is, how far you are through the game, and how much of a toll it is on you.
I think it's good to have like
2
going at once, something, so you can like switch back and forth or so. But I don't know, like I'm always playing multiple games at once. Like I'll play my solo stuff, like, playing something easy like Sims or a time management game or just something that's like fun and engaging for me. But then, usually I'll also be doing a playthrough of a story game with Mason, Currently, we're also playing another story game with another friend of ours, which is that's a second playthrough for me and a third playthrough for Mason.
Yeet. I don't like the game. What are you talking about?
And then I'm also doing a playthrough of Divinity with my boyfriend. So, like, I've always got, like, multiple things going where I can... It's just good to keep many things in your pocket. I feel like I also don't have a problem finding new games just because usually Steam will recommend me what my friends are playing, what they've played the most, what things, I'm going to like based on what I want. So it's pretty easy for me to find what I'm looking for.
She's got a lot of Steam Share sugar daddies too.
Oh yeah,
What is that?
So I have my boyfriend's library on Steam and I have Mason's library on Steam. Like we all have family sharing, like... So
do I even want to say the number of how many games I have?
Yeah, both him and Cole have a plethora of games. So, like, usually if there's something I want to play, I can just be like, hey, I'm going to play this from your library. I'll just play it when you're, working or not here or whatever.
Man, that's going to be so much easier for you when I actually start, like, working full-time, huh?
Oh, I know, yeah. Get full access to all that.
So to follow up with that, I guess my next question would be, because I think this is interesting, just like we talked about, what movies did you watch growing up, like over and over? So what game on any platform do you just find yourself going back to in the middle of a rut or in the middle of games? Like for me, it's always Plague Inc. Yes.
It's simple, but...
Plague Inc. Like I could be at work. And I'm like, okay, I even have the custom scenarios downloaded. So there's like everything from like Santa Claus to the Black Plague. But for me, like you can get 1 or 2 rounds done within like, what, you say 10 minutes or less? Really? I always play on Mega Brutal. What about you guys? I feel like mine's obvious. Like The Sims. The Sims. I'll always come back to it because I own a copy of every iteration of it. Most of it's concentrated in 2 and 3. But I'll always want to come back to it because it's fun. There's plenty of things to do. Like you get bored, you can just kill some Sims. You can also make them have like 1,000 babies.
Yikes.
Or, do the Gold Digger life path, which that one's fun. There's so much to do in there that I always find myself coming back to it.
Yeah, so I got you guys fucking beat. Well, the first one I'd say, like, in more recent years, Dark Souls 2, which is actually really funny that you asked that question, because I was actually just thinking about going to play that, starting another playthrough of that tonight, because I haven't this year, and I've been kind of in a rut with my other stuff.
Yeah.
But also, when I was a kid, relating things back to earlier topics, I got a 3 in a row, fucking, like, king me, the Robots movie video game. I played, like, 30 playthroughs of that game on my original Xbox when I was a kid, and I don't know why. It was the first game I ever saw that had New Game Plus.
Wow,
They definitely did not have the same voice actors.
As a kid, I was obsessed with 2 games on my Nintendo DS. Like, that was the first console I ever had, was a Nintendo DS. We eventually then got a Wii with a bunch of GameCube games as well, so we could do that too. But we didn't have, like, a PlayStation until I was, like, 16.
I never had one.
So I loved Nintendogs, and there was, like, a fashion game I had where different clients would come in, and it was a very anime 3D style looking fashion game that almost had a lot of Harajuku influence. So of course my little tiny weeb ass was like, oh my god, I live. And you would have to make, outfits based on these people's aesthetics, and I was really entertained by that.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of things.
I think I'm out. I think
Simlish,
all of it's out there.
We talked David Cross.
Jack
we talked
Black.
Video games, movies, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I feel like we've covered it all that we can cover today.
We were talking about this last time where we're trying to come up with a new thing to say at the end of our I don't know. I don't think we thought of anything.
Why don't we do like a Springer's final thought?
Final thought?
Yeah.
I feel like we could end with a quote from something.
A quote? Okay, sure. I can take a little bit extra time to find something.
Oh, I already have a quote.
Oh, okay, sure. Lay it on us.
I'm going to stay with the first quote. Bread makes you fat? Quote Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
God damn it. This is why I try to bring the conversation away from Michael Cera. You just always fucking do this. You just, in my entire friendship with you is just, you always fucking do
Okay. Okay, I'll go.
Should we take an ad break? I gotta pee.
Yeah, okay.
Get your coffee. We were out.
Yeah.
Like 20
Oh
minutes.
shit. Yeah, we did ask Caleb to make coffee. We should go.
We can
get
just
that.
cut over the Jonas.